your day. How long will the people suffer? How long? How long will the people struggle? How long? How long will the people have to fight? How long? While the leaders carry on. Promises don't be on belly. Set your traps, you kill, get something there. Then you lie, then you steal from the poor, you mistreat. But soon will come your day. How long will the children have to cry? How long will they be forgiven? What did they do wrong? How long will they have to fight, destroying their lives? While the leaders carry on. Oh, yeah. Promises don't be on rebellion. Set your traps, you kill, get the free. Then you fly, then you steal from the poor. You mistreat, but you will come your day. Your children. How long will the people struggle? How long? How long will the people have to fight? How long? While the leaders carry on. Promises don't be on rebellion. Set your traps, you kill, get something there. Then you lie, then you steal from the poor, you mistreat. But soon will come your day. How long will the children have to cry? How long will they be forgiven? What did they do wrong? How long will they have to fight, destroying their lives? While the leaders carry on. Oh, yeah. Promises don't be on rebellion. Set your traps, you kill, get free. Then you fly, then you steal from the poor, you mistreat. But soon will come your day. Your children.
Sadio, welcome. Asal Jaite. Mohamed Kamara. MC on the way. Alpha Jallo.
How long will the people struggle? How long?
Sayo Fati. Geen problem, luister maar. Ik heb alleen iets. Ik heb iets te zeggen. Yeah, I have something to say. Asan Jaite, you know, we represent high level. No problem.
Set your traps, you kill, get something there. Then you lie, then you steal from the poor, you mistreat. But soon will come your day. How long will the children have to cry?
Bangali, send me Soninke music. I will play it. Bangali, what I'm sending Soninke music, I will play it. Don't worry. It's just this song fits with what I want to say. I have some points that I took down, you know, following the draft constitution. I will come on it. But this song passed with my what I want to say.
Yeah. Promises don't be underbelly. Set your traps, you kill, get up then you fly, then you steal from the poor, you mistreat, but soon will come your day. The children.
Big up, Ronaldo. Welcome. Asan Jaite acu Bangali andi musika do ko hirde Sarankulle on. Sarankulle music, where do it was full of music dumburi. Lamin Saidi Khan, welcome on board.
People under pressure. Tell me how long. Tell me how long. People that are under pressure.
Okay, Alpha Umar, no problem, respect. Assalamu alaikum. Greetings to everybody who is listening or watching me by now. My name is Bubakar Jallo. I choose to speak in English. I hope so that I will not be contradicted for the general listeners and people who may be hearing me. I am Bubakar Jallo. I was born and raised in the Gambia, in the township of Basse Santasu. I have been following the debates and all along since in the starting of this constitutional council was formed to try to change the constitution of the Gambia. I never took time to talk about it. If you ask me, am I much involved in Gambian politics? I will say no. Do you follow much about Gambian politics? I will say no. Not because I have no interest in it. It's because I don't live in the Gambia and I am more engaged in Belgium and I live here. So I am more particular about Belgium politics and than Gambian politics. One is because even if there was the chance to vote, I am not franchised to vote for anybody in the Gambia because I don't live in the Gambia unless the constitution changes. Yes, I have dual citizenship from the Gambia and Belgium, but I can only vote in Belgium and I work and pay my taxes in Belgium. So I don't follow much. Yes, because I have friends and families who live in the Gambia and outside the Gambia who follow much the affairs of Gambian politics, and I see sometime on the social media all these topics that come across. I do read. Sometimes I'm tempted to answer to some people when it is necessary. But I have been following the debate since before this draft come to the National Assembly. Now finally it is at the National Assembly, and I have, yes, there was a time that I got a copy or somebody sent me a copy of the Constitution. So tell me about some of what is there. I am a preview of some of it. But following since yesterday the debates at the National Assembly, I found it very disturbing and to hear how people tend to take this issue of the Constitution on which kind to another level. There are mixed feelings, but I will not talk about people's opinion. I am going to talk about my opinion. I stopped following. I was listening since yesterday, this morning, but I stopped following the debates at the National Assembly because I found out I have enough of what I want. What interests me of the National Assembly. And it's just like the members of the Parliament are just repeating themselves repeating the same topics. Today I want to share my own opinion about some points that I took down while I'm listening. It is on paper here because it is of my interest, even though I am not living in the Gambia, but my family live there. I have family members who live there, friends who live there, and I'm a Gambian by birth. Even though, in a sense, I have been discriminated since from birth. Gambia, the Constitution of Gambia, in 1997 Constitution that I know of any, discriminate me from my birthright to choose my nationality. I will come to that. The second, I want to talk. The first, I will start with what I found more disturbing, and many people, if you follow like the broadcasters that people broadcast on all these social media platforms, they are broadcasting, and you follow the comments, it distracts you because what should have been a national agenda, a national issues, a general interest, it have been politicized even from the beginning. If we all remember, people, including me, I have been voicing since by the time of the transition, when the people were campaigning for change in the Gambia. And when the number one thing that I championed by then was constitutional changes, constitutional review or changes of the constitution, because I found out as I grew older, I found out I cannot respect the constitution of the totality, because the constitution itself of the Gambia where I am born, it discriminates me from birth. So that sense, how do you expect me to respect uh, laws that exclude me, laws that discriminate me from birth? That is, I will start with that first of all. That is the fundamental right of choice of a child when he or she reach of age, let's say 18 years, to choose his birthright, whether he or she want to be a Gambian or a non-Gambian. If he or she is born in the Gambia, that is my opinion. That is my opinion, that a child did not make the choice to be born at first place, and he or she doesn't choose where he or she to be born. At this, then, if a child happens to come on earth on a particular territory, that child is of that territory. Doesn't matter where or her his or her parents came from. This is my opinion, and that is I think that is should be a fundamental right to every human being on this planet. Because yesterday I found it disturbing to hear there was a member of parliament. I cannot I cannot recall which constituency of or his name, when he said that the Gambia doesn't have problem of uh, how to call it, statelessness. My brother, that member of parliament is viewing his own choice, because maybe the constitution of the Gambia gave him more right than the other person who is who is born on the same date at the same time in the same territory. Then that's why that person is speaking. I, Boubacar Jallow, did not choose to be born in the Gambia. My father moved to the Gambia when Gambia was just a republic. He came to the Gambia. He had his family there. He brought up his family there. But if I, Boubacar, I was born in the Gambia, I know nowhere other than the Gambia until I start traveling. I did all my my life in the Gambia up till at 29. When I reached at 27, 28, I left the soil of the Gambia to go to like my first destiny in Mauritania, or before I come to Europe. So I am 28 years in the territory of the Gambia. But the constitution of the Gambia discriminates me than my towards than the other people. I have to bring certificates of my parents. One of my parents have to be Gambian, and before I acquire the birthright of the Gambia, even though I have a birth certificate, all my papers are from Basse Health Center. Everything, everybody of Basse know of my parents. My father he's totally integrated to the Gambia. Everybody know him in Basse. So he was more a Gambian than a Guinean. When he moved to the Gambia in the 70s, he never left the soil of Gambia still today, until he is buried in the soil of the Gambia. He never went back to Guinea-Conakry. So that man is a Gambian, because he know much. He did more for the Gambia. He integrate his children. He get his children and make them feel Gambian than more than any other. He doesn't make them feel like outsiders. So I will start with that. I think hearing national members or Gambians making the birthright issue like more like feeling that the soil Gambia belongs to them. If your grandfather is born in the Gambia, I am born in the Gambia. What makes the birth of your grandfather more important than of mine? Because if your great grandparents were not born in the Gambia, they could not identify themselves of the territory of the Gambia. So you cannot tell me that my birthright have to depend on my parents or my forefathers. I have to feel myself as a second city, or not. How do you expect me to have more connection to a land? How do you expect me to dedicate myself to a country which discriminates me of my rights, which denies me of my rights? How do you expect me to commit myself to that country? This is what many people in the Gambia face. This is what the member of parliament doesn't know, that he's saying Gambia doesn't have problem of statelessness. He's fooling himself. He's part of the minority of those Gambians who feel the Gambia belongs to them because their forefathers were born in the Gambia. If your forefather was born in the Gambia and I am born in the Gambia, that means I and your forefathers have the same reason to claim the Gambia, because we know our existence from the Gambia. It doesn't matter where our parents come from. I will address that because that is how I feel for the last years, and still I feel the Gambia is so discriminating towards people of foreign how do they call it, foreign parents who came to the Gambia. So this is what I think. I think it is unjust to unborn children, or children who had no say to where they will be born. If I finish on that was on birthright. I think the constitution, any constitution have to be legitimate. If you expect people who of my kind and others to be committed to the state of the Gambia, to respect the laws of the Gambia, to have more connection to the state of Gambia, you have to make them feel that their birth is as important as those of others. If I finish on that was the birthright. I have language problem in the Gambia. I am a Fulani. I speak 3 more languages in the Gambia before I learn English. I speak Mandinka, I speak Wolof. I understand some of Saraule. I am not fluent of it, but I speak it. I found if you follow the proceedings at the National Assembly, it is very shameful that I don't know how a number of people who are voted to come and discuss about affairs, laws, and regulations that are meant to govern a state that will affect the whole nation. And if you look at the population of the Gambia, the Gambians, majority of our population Gambians don't speak the language, or they are not fluent of, they don't understand the language. If you listen to even our National Assembly members, they find it very difficult to express themselves in this foreign language, English. That's why they cannot articulate themselves properly. They cannot say even what they are thinking of, how they think, because they have this language barrier. I think the Gambia should go away from this. Like in Senegal, you hear them speak Wolof at the National Assembly, because those people represent people who doesn't speak English or French. So they speak in the local language that they call local language. There is nothing like local. Like Honorable Sidia Jata said, The national languages are the national languages. These are the national languages. English is a foreign language. You don't go to England and hear them speak Mandinka or Wolof or any other foreign language. They speak English to the English people and people of who live in England. You come to Belgium here, they have many languages, like 3. Everybody have his own right to speak at the National Assembly his language. That is, if he's a Dutch, he speak Dutch. That's what they call Flamand. If he's a French, if he live in the Wallonie side, he speak French. And if you come from the side that the side of the Dutch side, the German side, you have the choice. You can speak German in the National Assembly, and everybody who doesn't understand the language have to take transliteration. You hear what the person is saying. I think it's high time all this nonsense grammar English, like I am struggling now at the National Assembly, to go away from the Gambia should go away from it. That's why even the text itself, people cannot, elaborate or explain their own people in their villages or hamlets. People who would really need those laws to defend them or to protect their interests. They cannot even tell them what it stands for. Like for me, I could not understand nothing when they were talking about these financial allocations of the department. I cannot follow, But here it is. You sit down representing like 70, let's say 150 National Assembly members. They sit at the parliament. Only we people maybe who went to school could go to social media and all those things, follow what they are saying. The rest of the Gambia doesn't hear nothing about what they are saying. And you are making laws that reflects, the welfare of those people. And you go about debating on all those matters in a language that people doesn't understand. I think that is very ignorant of the state. I think the state should go away with that. Yes, if they want, they can keep English as an official language. That is bureaucratic. But people have, if you go to a bureau, if you go to the police station, you speak Mandinka or Fulani or anything. If you go to the hospital, you don't speak English. You speak anything that fits you, that you can communicate with. That's how the National Assembly should be. That's how I think, on my own opinion, that's how the National Assembly should be. But not hearing all these people speaking big words. Those who can articulate themselves in English, they start using big words or grammar, and that the layman who needs to know what they are talking about cannot understand what they are saying. All this session is useless. It have no use. So if I finish, so I think that is an other thing that I think is very important. If I come mostly, in the beginning of all these things, you hear Gambians. You come across debates or sessions people having. Even when the CRC, I don't know how, I think that's how they call them CRC, yeah, Constitutional Review Council. When they were going out to consult Gambians about this constitution, this draft constitution, all these things that we are hearing now about finance, about all these things, you don't hear them. Only things that you hear about is about secularism, religion, about term limit, those things. You know why you hear all those things? Because politicians and selfish interest religious leaders are using religion and politics to divert Gambians from the real facts, the real facts of what is most important than what is than secularism or all these other debates, like they are talking about gay marriage and all those things. There are more important things than that. That maybe that is just two topics of out of, if you have 100, it's only 2. What about the rest of those things? What about your freedom of movement, your freedom of expression, all those things, your fundamental right to education? You hear when we had, I don't know much about the Jawara era because I was still young, but during the APRC time, when they said here they will bring free education to all Gambians, yeah, to secondary and all this, that is bogus. You hear also the National Assembly members talking about it. They make laws that doesn't apply. They cannot apply. You have to make laws and regulations that you know is the benefit of the people and you can implement on the people. Let's say they say every man have the right to freedom of expression. My friend go out tomorrow on the street in the Gambia and try to express his own feelings about the happenings in the Gambia. The police come and arrest him. You know, while he doesn't know fully what he have to know or what he have to do when he needs to go and express himself in that sense. You have to tell the people in a language or in a manner that they understand what are their rights and what are their obligations. Because in the constitution is where we agreed on. This is how we have to govern this country. So, but if people doesn't understand fully what is going on, you get distracted by minor things. You have problem. You know, they keep talking about secularism. The Gambia should be Islamic, more Islamic. Who care? Who tell you your faith is more important than the other? The Gambia have been existing long as a secular state before this extremist ideologies come in. Whether it is in the constitution or not, but people say to defend the rights of other people, we have to put that as a law. Yes, I believe everybody have the right to freedom of religion and assembly. You know, I believe that. That is my own opinion. You don't have to believe. You don't have to agree with me. But then, because of a section of the Gambian community, religious leaders, they are more focused on religion than what is more important in their life. You go following religion. You don't even, you go pray. You don't even have your right to go to work. It's not guaranteed. Your right to good medical health care is not guaranteed. How can you go to the mosque? How can you even focus on prayers? You keep on talking about religion. Religion is human. It's between you and your creator. It's deen. That's why they call it deen, a religion. It is spirituality. It is not a movement like they are politicizing. The politics in the Gambia is more like movements, like Terika Force. You know what, like the Mandinkas call this Terika Force. It's more like that. It's because me and my friend believe this. We are friends. Even if my friend is wrong, I will follow him. If you look at the Gambian politics, most of them, 99.9% of Gambian politics, is all based on Terry Kafo or who you know, who you like. You know, that's how it is. They distract the working class Gambian. When I say the working class Gambian, it's the Gambian who wake up every day, go to the garden, go to the hospital, or go to the bush, fetch trees to come and sell it to feed his family. The woman who wake up in the morning come bring food to his family. These are the working class I am talking about. These are the most important people. You know, not the politician. You know, the head of a political party. You know, the Gambian People might say, well, what interests you in those? I'm not interested in political parties or political leaders in the Gambia because I am not affiliated to none. Like I said, I live in Belgium. I am more focused in Belgian politics than Gambian politics. But what I'm talking about here is social matters. These things that affects me, and I have. If I don't talk about it, somebody else will face the same problem tomorrow. This is what I'm. This is where I say we are having a lot of political distractions. You hear them talking about political leaders who have who have their private parts on the internet. You talk about political leaders who you keep a month or 3 or 4 months. Somebody insult a political leader or a political party. It is all it takes the whole Gambia people talking about it. People forget what is important. People forget how to stand for what is more valuable for the people. So we have a lot of political distraction in the Gambia. They make politics based on self-interest. Hadn't been our politicians were really of interest to bring changes, to make meaningful changes. They had it since they won the last regime. They have majority in the parliament. They have all these things. They could have just not spent all this money. They could just go and revoke all those bad laws and bring in good laws. They have that. They have that power as a how to call it as a national assembly. But yes, it's not a problem that we go and consult Gambians, how to govern a state. That is okay. Then Gambians have their own say. But taking politics and personal interests, to distract a whole nation from reality, it is unjust to those people. It is unjust because if you want to go around, if you hear the media, the Gambian media, you really hear all these medias going around making programs about farmers or about the tailors or inspirational programs about how to inspire Gambian youth or women in the Gambia. The most talking points on the media is politics, personal interest about political leaders and political parties. It's all about this political party or this political leader. They distracted us since in the beginning. And now they still on that drama. If you look at in the parliament now, how people, if you listen to the MPs, you can understand from their expressions and their contributions which affiliation where they belong. You can still see the fight on the street in the parliament. What you hear on social medias and on the news and all those things, you see it reflect itself on these debates. So I will on the political distraction, I will limit myself there. There is a member of parliament, the same member of parliament who said he doesn't believe that Gambia have this statelessness problem. I believe he also said, I think he's the same person who said there should be, I don't know how they call it in the National Assembly, parts of the laws or regulations in the constitution that can make restriction on religious matters. I think that is high time that this constitution involves that, because or else, let's say 100% Muslims in the Gambia, everybody is called himself a Muslim, but among Muslims there are like more than 99 groups, in Islam. like we always hear between these Ahmadis or this Wahhabis on all those things, but they all call themselves Muslim. Let's say there is no Christian in the Gambia, there is no other faith in the Gambia, only Muslims. The tendency of violence, of hate speech can be higher, and it can bring a lot of problems. You see in Syria, you see in Iraq, you see what is happening there. Muslims going to mosques, blowing up mosques. I think that I pick up from yesterday contributions. I think that is very important that this constitution restrict people. Their faith belongs to them. The state and your religion should be between you and God. You are free to associate yourself with any religion you want, but you have no right, to condemn people of which faith they can belong. Nobody should have that right. I think there should be laws. I think that man's contribution was very important. That should be included in a constitution, in any law. Even if it is there, it should be guaranteed. It should be practiced, because we have been hearing in between how these things escalate. Like people going denying other people of part of a religion not to be able to bury their dead their loved ones who die in a cemetery because they don't worship the same way. They don't belong into the same mosque. So I think that it's high time that this constitution do that. Maybe it will not affect me, I don't know, but it can affect somebody, my friends or my family. Who knows? I think that is also very important. I think also it is important that a state, any democracy, that we start from grassroots. Now we are there calling about political parties should be like how to call here boot camp, where you form leaders, where you make policies, where you change ideas, where you bring in ideas to develop, to change what you see it is not going through correctly. That is what I believe in political parties, not just going to rallies, organizing all those things, talking about what an individual did for a party. That is not important. What an individual did for a party is not that individual commit himself to that. What is important is what that party brings to the people. So, like, presidential term limits is very vital. When should they have done that in the beginning? What did they change in the last constitution? Since I know is only age limit, and what else is changed since the last 2 years almost? They changed nothing. They changed only what befit them. But like somebody who go out to go and express himself, they arrest you. Like the same way that the old constitution is there. They are practicing the same constitution that was denying them their rights. The only thing they change is that which interests them. This is the problem of political politics. This party politics, like politicians who just want to make, hide behind political parties or political groups or religious groups or people who to for their own self-interest. This is the problem of it. So I think also the presidential term limit is important. It should be included, and it should be practiced. And there is one thing very important in the Gambia. If you hear, like, if you listen to what people are talking about what is going to come, so you see people making In the Gambia, our main problem, I think it's high time. I always talk to other Gambian youths and other people when we talk about politics. If you look at in the West here, in Europe, here, there are very strong workers and trade unions in this Europe. That any law that is made that doesn't reflect or doesn't go in the interest of the people, of the workers unions stand and make sure that those laws doesn't is not practiced. You know, they make that Gambia itself needs to the people, the workers, the people who the workers, they need to mobilize themselves, not like say, oh, going to I don't know, social security, all those things. Trade unions, like the political parties, these political parties are forming Terika Force. You have to form Gambian workers, the working class Gambians have to come together to make strong unions. You know, like if like what happens in Gunjur, I don't know, Gunjur or Tanje, those Chinese, I don't know, factories, what they are doing, or what is happening. You hear all those things. If there were strong unions, there were strong workers unions that represent every individual who wake up every day to go to work, all these nonsenses will not happen in the Gambia. It will be history, and people will not make laws that doesn't reflect the workers. How can you tell me a judge who is employed the same way as of the security man could enjoy more privilege than the security man? How can you how do you how is that possible? Even how can that go up to a state that it have to come to a national assembly for people to debate that? Why are there no unions, workers unions, who have to be consulted on those matters? If you leave only experts, lawyers who we say, like, let's say they say this lawyer is an expert in constitution and all those things, you leave them with that. They go and draft only what they want. They go consult people on what they think the people should know. Things like that will come out and nobody will know about it. So it is high time you stop going to these political parties and form yourself, because these political parties, if they come into office, they will only do this. They will continue the same trend from 1965 to date. So it's high time the working class Gambian take its its a place into Gambian politics and make sure all laws and regulations that are made in the Gambia reflects the people, the life of the people. But you say religion and you follow in things that doesn't matter. You know, how can you all this if you so some of you are following these allocations, you go and listen to these allocations, you see that it is very discriminating. So that is my opinion on that. If you think you have something to say on this, you can send me you can send me on an SMS. You know, I will send you a link. You can come here. You can come online here. You know, or I will link you in. Then you can come. You can say what you want to say. You know, just say you want to come in. I will send you the link. If you want to contribute, just say it. Send me a link. I will send me a message. I will send you a link. You will come in as a guest. You have the right to say what I'm saying is not true, or you disagree with me, or you agree with me. Just say what you think. If you think you want to come in, that is good. Yes, I will add. I have one Gambian sister. one sister. She's Holland Gambian. Harriet. They have projects in the Gambia. They help women. This women with low income is a charity organization. I will add her on the stream here. She will come. She will also say, I see she send me a message that she want to come in. I will give her the opportunity to come in, and she can say what she want to say. I hope we will listen. And if anyone there also, I post there my SMS is there, my WhatsApp. You can send me on my WhatsApp if you have WhatsApp. I will send you the link. You can come in if you want. You can say what you want to say before I finish this this thing, Joncho. So that was my opinion on this. Harriet, sorry, bedankt. Ik zal u uitnodigen. Dan kan op de link, u gaat alleen de link gebruiken en dan kan u bij meekomen. As that looks. If you want to join this program, I post my WhatsApp number on there. I will put you in if you are here. So then we will see. Harriet, if you are still listening, you can click on the link that I send you. You can join the forum. So the other thing that is very disturbing, if you okay, Harriet Damfa. Okay, I was thinking the other that Harriet. Okay, sorry, Harriet, just click the link. You will come in. No problem. It's good. You are a sister, Gambian sister. You can. I mistake you with I know one sister, Gambian, Holland sister, Harriet. Just click on the link. You will see. You will be on the guest. Okay, Mohammed Fati. Wait, let me send it to you. Mohammed Fati, you know the rule. So just click and come in. I will add you in. So the other thing that is very disturbing by now is this about the maternity. We hear a lot of our sisters recently dying in the Gambia when they go to deliver. It is not new. It is old. So we all know how it is. So you can see that most of the problem here. I will give you a scenario. If politicians really care about the people, not self-interest, the first person, I will give you one thing. The person who donated the cars to the National Assembly members. Imagine if that person say to the government, I want to donate you people this. How can I do that? I want to donate you cars. And the government, those people, they say no. What you can do is you can divert that to the health sector. Because if you look every car, how much it spends and every day, all our clinics and health centers would be renovated, and we will not have all these things, all these happenings. But no, these people, Gambians are sending to the National Assembly into office. They don't know what is going on. They are not. Most of those people, they don't work even. They don't know what is work. They don't know what is waking up. They don't know what is waking up every day to 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 go to work. I see my sister Harriet here. I will give her the chance to come. Harriet, uh, you have your right. I will bring in Harriet on the live stream. Harriet have her right. It's a Gambian sister. She have her right to her opinion. She is free to say anything that she thinks. And Harriet, you are free. You welcome to my program. You are my first guest of this program. I am starting live streams. Sister Harriet, welcome.
Yes, Babuka, thank you so much. Um, my face seems tired because I was just from cooking. Anyway, all I have to say is that this uh, national language thing, people should not only rely on the foreign language. We should also consider our mothers, our grandmothers, our grandfathers, and fathers who cannot speak English, and even some of our brothers and sisters who cannot speak English. It's good that it's good for them to start using this our native language, because it's not even a local language but our native language, for people to really understand what's really going on, and so that they will also have their own quota to contribute to the development of the nation. Because it's just not have to be that, okay, only those who goes to school have to contribute their own quota in the national development.
So
only politics.
Sister, if you follow these settings, how do you see yourself in the new draft constitution?
Anyway, it's all confusing, to be frank. It's so confusing, especially where they have to emphasize on this Sharia thing and so on, because we are not we are in a secular. This is a secular state. We have both Christians, Muslims, Baha'is, Ahmadiyya, and so on. So we cannot just say that it just have to be Muslims are the majority. We the Muslims are the majority, but we have to also think of our brothers and sisters who belong to other religions, because as we say, we have been living with them. Our great grandparents have been living with them peacefully. Let us not start something that we don't know where it's going to end. We have seen how tribal wars and this religion ethnics destroys a nation, because when this war starts, it doesn't have an end. Let us not start something that will be of regret in the later on, or let us not start something that will affect our children in the future. Let us just try to do something that will be the benefit. Let us not only think of today. Let us think of the later on, what will happen, our kids, our grandchildren. Because if we start something that will not end today, we will live with regrets, because we'll one day want to eradicate it. It won't. Here is something we start, this tribal thing. Tribes insulting tribes, people insulting other tribes. At the end of the day, now it's like a daily routine.
But
People are just.
Sister Harriet,
Yes.
you and I, we are not. Maybe we. What do you think bring all these tribal topics in politics?
Sorry, can you come again?
I say, what do you think is the reason behind this tribal thing being so centralized in politics, in the Gambian politics?
Okay, this is something that we are the one. We started it. We are the reasons. We are the reasons, because we started it. It was something that it was okay. Maybe we made it as a fun. We normally do it. It was fun to us. We didn't know where it would lead us. So it was going to the extent gradually clouding into in between us. We started using it against each other. Eventually, before we realize, it's now used in our political agendas.
Yeah,
Now
that's a good
it
point.
is politicalized.
Yeah,
It is no more something that someone can just use against someone. Now it is even politicalized. Even politicians have
It's true.
started using it against each other. So
Yes,
I believe we need a new Gambia.
because the
We
I
are the
don't
ones
I
who need to be new.
yeah,
We have to change ourselves. We
yeah,
have
it's
to
true.
change ourselves. We have to change our attitude. We have to change the way we live. We have to change the way we behave towards one another.
Mm.
Just treat someone the way you want the person to treat you. If we do that, we live in peace and harmony.
Hmm.
So
That's
if
that.
if we change our attitude towards each other,
Mm.
I think that's the time we can say that we need a change in the country. We cannot say that we need a new Gambia whilst we ourselves we are not born again. We don't change our attitudes towards each other.
That's
So
true. I
yeah.
totally agree with I totally agree with you, sister. But I believe people, like I said, politicians, people with hidden agenda, they go with popularism. What is popularism? They look what is more
Mm-hmm.
popular. They don't
Yes.
look what is
Yes.
genuine, what is realistic. They go
Mm.
like they see, if I say this or if I wear this, everybody will look
Mm.
at me. They do that
Yes.
because they want the attention. You know,
Yes.
the politicians,
Mm-hmm.
they affiliate with themselves with the people. You even if you look, it's not even in the Gambia only. If you look even
Mm.
other nations, even in Belgium here, you hear other politicians. They
Mm-hmm.
rally,
Yeah.
they do their campaign based on affiliation. You know, like you see that woman. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
what is a
Yes.
woman from the United Democratic Party when she said in an other rally, Albania Fasa. That is not only in the Gambia.
Mm-hmm.
All extremists, people who preach hate and division, use those languages. In Belgium here, our nationalists, is this nationalists, this do you hear this extreme right wing parties? They campaign on that. They say your people first. So who are your people? When you say your people first, you call in people who you identify with. So this is very dangerous, because you see that will bring a lot of division. That is all this problem here, and then they will use that, like you said, they will use it. If it doesn't, they start one. If it doesn't, people doesn't this in doesn't notice it. They take other things that is more popular. Like like me, if you say, boy, we have to go all, we follow the fullers and all those things, the fullers, and I follow all the fullers, and you say, oh, all the you mandinkas, and we make a law that say you have to have 50% of the vote of the Gambian to rule the country. The Fullers are not 50%. The Mandinkas are not 50% alone. So it's you are fooling yourself. You are making more division in the community, which will not interest you and will not bring anything meaningful to the community.
Okay, Babuka, sorry to interrupt you, but um, you are talking about something that's really happening and it's really affecting our political um politicians. Even it's even affecting the country, because what I can say is like, okay, now people, if you are to vote for someone, don't just go in for, okay, nabe particularly. That's what they will
Mm,
say. Oh, nga badi ya fasa. Nga na
mm,
pati dingo fasa. It's very
mm,
wrong. Wow.
mm,
Nañ fexe taxawal suñ waa party.
mm,
Don't go for it. Just go in for someone who you know it's responsible. Go in for someone you know will make a change. Go in for someone who is there for the country, not there for the party.
mm. No,
Which is,
I will say this. Go and ask 90% of Gambian political affiliate. If I tell you I am from this political party, ask them what is the stance, what are the policies of that political party. You know, it will be, you will have only maybe 1% of the membership of that party who knows what is this party really standing for? What is this party really want to bring into office when I vote them? Because you go to this political campaign, you go to these political rallies, you hear politicians, they will just tell you what the other politician is doing wrong, and they will say ni mol fita menen si men jodi ke ñun suñ toge, lol du fi am. Okay, they will not tell you what do they have on paper that is guaranteed, a program, a real program that anybody who, when they leave that rally, if you ask somebody who attend that rally, what did you learn from this political party? What is the stance of this political party? The majority of people will say, these people are having more people, or they are more, I like the political leader, but not policies. People don't follow politics in Africa in general. People don't follow politics based on policies. People follow politics based on popularity. I think that is a problem, sister. Don't you think so?
Yeah, that's a problem, because we have to stop this blame game. This blame game is really affecting us. It's really affecting us, and we are doing it in our day-to-day life. It's even part of us now. It's not only the politicians. Okay, even right now, if something is even for sale, you will see to it that someone will need it. But just because someone had someone saying that, okay, I need to buy this, he will go and tell this one, don't worry, he's just gonna give you a little amount of money. Or the person will just tell you, okay, fine, you know what, I'll give you more money. I need it more than the person needs it, which is wrong. Secondly, they will always tell you, okay, this is what this person do when this person was in power, this and this is what the person does. But you will never tell people that this is what I want to do, your aim and objectives. They will only be there blaming the other person, blaming, okay, I will do this just because this person doesn't do this, I will do it for you. I think it's high time for we the Gambians to wake up.
Sister,
especially with the youth.
Yeah, and I'm very
yeah, and I also
continue.
Because we have to change our attitudes. One, two, we have to wake up. Most of these youth in the Gambia, we are educated. I think it's high time we make the change ourselves. But we have to change our attitudes first, then make the change.
When you say we make the change ourselves, what do you want us to understand?
What I mean is that, one, we have to change our attitudes. We have to know what we want. We have to know what we are going in for. Let us not just sit there and be yelling, shouting, okay, this guy, the blame game has to stop. It really has to stop. We have to focus on what we want, not waiting for the wrong to be done. And now we'll just be there saying, oh, if I was selected, or if this one was selected, or if this and this was done, we the Gambians have to stop it. It is even done in the football. Even in the football, you can just for example, go to the just work. If you can, you may be in the. You sometimes come for holidays. You go to the video clubs. You see to it that they will just be there. The referee did not do this. The player did not do this. Even players, no, seriously, even players themselves do that.
I blame that on Manchester United fans. That is what I think.
Okay, then when they are done, they will say, okay, the coach did not do it, but just give them the opportunity to do that in the playing ground. They will not do it.
Sister, I'm very grateful that you come in on this point, and I am very happy that a young Gambian, female Gambian sister like you have these ideologies, these thoughts. But we know what is serious, what is bad when we don't speak. It's high time
we need to speak up and act.
We have to have the conversations, and we have to get involved. We have to be involved. We have to also say our own views. If we have idea, you have to talk. If you don't, because if you don't say what you know or what you think of, people will not know it. Maybe somebody will be doing a mistake in the next second, but if he or she hear what you said, he or she can learn from you. So thank you. I thank you for your time.
I just want to make a little I just want to say this to my fellow youths. Let's stop rallying behind people. And at the end of the day, we will not vote. We have to stop it. If we say that we need to change, we need a change, let's go and get our documents. Let's go and get our voters card and make sure we vote for the right person.
Thank you very much. That is very, very important. You know, if you don't, this is what I can say. If you don't vote, you don't have anybody to blame. You don't have any right. If you are franchised, if you have the right to vote, if you are eligible to vote, if you don't vote, you don't have anybody to blame. You are
so we
right.
have to stop riding behind them, stop going on top of these rallies, on top of these trucks, on top of these vehicles, going for campaigns, going for tours. Let us just make sure we sit and think of what we really want and just get our voters card and vote. Let our voice be heard through our ballot box, not to be yelling, arguing here and there.
So, Sister Harriet, do you think is it not high time that the youth, man, the Gambian youth, go outside there and make movements and go and sensitize people and to campaign that young Gambians go out and register and vote in the next election without even political affiliation, but on policies? Do you think it is not high time that we just desist from these political parties? We go and campaign, like politicians campaign, and say, listen, this is what is this in the constitution. This is what is bad in the Ministry of Health. This is what is bad in the Ministry of Defense. This is what is bad in the Ministry of Justice. This is how it should be. This is what was allocated to the Ministry of Finance, to the Ministry of Education, and still they did not afford good teachers to pay the teachers their salaries on time. Do you think it is not high time that we desist from political parties and go and make our own movements and sensitize?
Yeah, the Facebook Live. Anyway, that's my wife disturbing me.
Sister, how are you?
Yeah, she's my brother's wife.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool.
What all I want to say is that we youth can do it. We have wonders, doing beautiful things in the development of this country. All I want to tell is that we can do it. Let's try and do it. We are tired of having these old people luring us here and there. We are tired of having these old people ordering us around, remote controlling us. We as youth can do it, and let's come together and make a change and stop talking. Now, let's just try our best and make this change. And the only way we can make this change is let's all come together, have one ambition.
Yeah, it's good. I appreciate your time, sister.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I see they are calling you. Thank you.
So I think we need a young and talented and ambitious president. So all we need is, please youths, let's come together and make this happen. I know we can. We have people like Talib there doing great jobs. We have other activists. We have like Ismaila there. We have so many people. If I have to start calling their names, it will just be too much. I think I will just have to take the whole of your time. So I think we just have to come together.
I think your message is high time the youths of the Gambia take the affairs of the land in their hands.
We have to take the bull by the horn. It's high time we take the bull by the horn.
Thank you very much. I will not. Anyway, I will thank you for coming. I hope I will get you again one day on my program to talk more. Okay. Thank you for your time. Thank you. Bye.
Okay.
Bye. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Harriet, the sister from. Very good to have. You just drop Harriet. It's good. I'll put you out. Okay.
iko fo musa malonko musale fa malonko tenkulu nakarasa tenkul duro ni bata bila ikela time leta ni wonten tulo buka bo ni tulo man bo xamu da koy bata bil no man o pare habere ka so batay
Hey. Okay. Who else want to comment? Just send me. I will put you in. And it is very important that we have Sister Harriet. She voice her opinion, and it is very important that to hear that from young Gambians like Sister Harriet. You know, she made very vital points. You know that Gambians, should stop rallying behind politicians, should stop being the tools of campaign, and go out there and follow policies and not popularity. That is very, 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 very vital. It is very good to hear that from a young Gambian, like a female Gambian even. We need that. It's high times. Sister Harriet is right. Because if you don't know, if you don't get involved, you cannot know the realities of the day-to-day affairs of the state. You don't know, you just blindfolded. You even when you want to go fill a form, you don't know how to fill a form, or you meet with a policeman on the street, he or she will violate your rights, whilst if you hadn't been, your rights, that will not happen. So it is very, very vital to know these laws. People might ask, why do you listen to the debates and all? Maybe I am not living in the Gambia, but it is of my interest to know what is going on in the Gambia. Like you hear her ask, do you maybe sometimes you come for holidays in the Gambia? Yes, I do come to the Gambia if I have the chance. But then if I don't know what is there, if I don't speak of my mind, or if you don't want to talk, if you don't want to get involved, you have nobody to blame. Like you don't know why, if you don't know what are the laws for labor, for work. You don't know what are the regulations. You don't know nothing. You don't know even what is allocated for your area council. You don't know all those things. You don't know what we need to get involved. People get to get involved. Sister Harriet is right. You people have to stop being used as tools for political interest and gain. Because if you look at all these things, it's based on just self-interest. They don't speak policies. They don't tell you. They will tell you the president is not doing good, the government is not doing good, but they cannot tell you what will they do if the government did not do, if they come into power. They cannot tell you. They will not be able to tell you. I have my brother Mohamed Fati now. He also live here. He's a young Gambian living in Belgium. Maybe some of you know him. He's much active in Gambian politics and all those things. He's my childhood buddy. We went to school together. From St. George's to Nasir. He's my youth man. Mohamed Fati, you have right to your opinions. You have the floor, my brother. Welcome.
Hi, boy, Babukar. How are you doing, man?
Rastafari, I'm going good, brother. And you?
Yeah, Rasta, I'm fine too,
Great to have you, bro.
Yeah, it's a pleasure, to join you.
Thank you very much. It's always, we used to rock since in the classroom.
I know back in the days, you used to be a stubborn boy. I wanna be a Tupac wannabe, So now you drop all those hats and mufflers, you drop them now.
No, I did not. I have them still. When I need them,
Yeah.
I am myself. Mr. Fati.
Yeah, Fati. Okay.
Welcome on board, my brother. Have you been?
Thank you.
I want to ask you, have you been following the proceedings in the Gambia?
Yeah, I have been following it keenly since yesterday.
Yeah.
But throughout today, I did not listen to it. But yesterday, the whole of yesterday and last week, I was listening to it.
Okay. So, what is your take on this?
Well, this constitution, I think one thing we need to understand is that it cannot reflect the opinion on the view of every Gambian that lives in that country. Because we have more than, like, not everyone can be satisfied with what is in the constitution. Not, of course, you can be satisfied with some of the clauses or some of the parts of the constitution, but of course there will be some parts that you will not agree with. But the most important thing is, the most fundamental important thing is that we have to look at the pros and the cons of this constitution. We have to make a comparison of anything you are doing. You have to make a comparison. Look at the advantages and the disadvantages, because we know, of course, it's not a perfect document. There are a lot of, if you go through it, you will find a lot of criticism in it, which are very valid. But equally, there are very progressive points in that document that one should also consider. Because, for example, the whole essence of this coalition government is to usher in a new democratic dispensation that will make sure that no individual or a sitting president will entrench himself on the throne forever, like we have in the 1997 Constitution. Yeah. So, like the 2-term limit that is stipulated in the Constitution is something that will help us in that endeavor to make sure that no sitting president will entrench himself for how long he wants. Because whether you like it or not, when you serve 2 terms, whether you like it or not, you have to give way to other people. So if you look at in that direction, I think one has to be very careful not to throw away this one. Because if you throw this constitution, we have to go back to the 1997 constitution. Yes. Which we know that if you win 1 vote, you are the winner. Yeah. And there's no term limit. So we will be here, and President Barrow can decide to leave to govern us for the next 25 years or the next 30 years. Do you want that to happen? No. Or not? So, but if you look at that.
But Mr. Fati, Fati, don't you think this important subject have been so politicized that its merits have been so undermined?
Yes, some people might say that, but as lawmakers, you should be guided by your conscience. Do not follow you should not have to follow the waves or what the ordinary people are saying outside. You as a lawmaker, you know what's at stake. At this moment, we are at a very critical juncture in our history, because when we fail to pass in this constitution, the whole transitional justice or the whole coalition agenda is failed. Because what can you point to that is achievement of this coalition? It's not this constitution.
May I come in? You know, yes. Of the time, people ask me my opinion of the coalition. I don't say things on I don't write or something like, but I think that the coalition agenda is dead long time ago.
I agree with it. There's no coalition. But what I want to say is transitional government. Let me say the transition government.
But there's no transition government even. There is just a government, a government of choice.
Yeah, it was aborted, but that was the purpose. But to help us further, by putting in this constitution, at least it will at least help us, because this will put an end to it. But if this constitution did not pass, it means there's no transition, and there's no term limit, and there's no end to this government again. And that's just an example. And okay, another thing in this constitution is, like I was listening to Sister, I think he was talking about, religion. I think that's the moment I come in. He was talking about religion or whatsoever, but
Muslim about Sharia, yes. About I hear that
and all of this.
I had a lady was arguing at the parliament that the allocations of the Supreme Judges numbers from the Sharia and secular and laws is not balanced. I don't think that is something that should be. I think religion should be governed under a national law, because religion is religion. It have its own.
Yes.
It's between you and God.
Yes. I think that disconnect here, because as a people, you cannot separate a man and his faith.
Yes.
You cannot say Babukar, you are Babukar, but the ideal and the principle that you believe in, you should put it aside and then work on something that you don't know, you don't live in it, you don't grow in it, you are not brought up like that. But just because there's a system, you want to work with that system, so you divorce yourself from your faith, your belief, and your way of life. Because that's what we are. We are Muslim, we are born Muslim.
Yes.
The president is a Muslim, the ministers are Muslim, the cabinet majority are Muslim. So when they move, they go with that mentality in their mind. So they cannot leave their faith at home and go somewhere and take something which is not part of them. So it's very difficult. This is a difficult moment, because something that I believe in, and you tell me to not to believe in it in other way.
I'm not saying not. What my observation is, if we agree to coexist, you understand, we have to agree on general terms.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't have to be based on affiliation, because yes, man was created as a faithful person. You are created to obey and worship a God. If you are a Christian, in your own way, if you are a Muslim, in your own way, if you are a Hindu or anything on your own way. Yes, as a Muslim, you also you will champion to worship and to be guided according to the guidance of the Quran and the Sunnah. I accept that. I believe also, if you are a Christian, you also believe you have the right to be guided and protected, to be according to the teachings of the Bible of anything. But if we agree to coexist, then we have to make common laws. You understand what I'm saying? Common laws.
Yeah.
Don't you agree on that?
I agree. We have common laws in the Gambia. The government is governed by the common laws, the constitution and other laws of the land. But they just create a Sharia code for Muslims. It's not, the Christians are not subjected to Sharia law. They are not in any way or form affected by those Sharia law, because it is for the Muslims, specifically for the Muslims, those who want to live their way, the way according to Sharia, not even Sharia, but there are specific ways, like for example, inheritance and marriage and divorces. These are some of the issues that he was taken care of by the Sharia court.
By the court. So that is the Qadi.
By the Qadi. Yes, the Qadi. Why do they want to bring it
the Supreme
Court?
Superior.
Yeah, they just want to give it a more power than the Sharia, than the Qadi. Because if you look at it, majority, that's what they want. And it is not for imposing it on Christian, the minority. They don't have to accept it, and nobody will scold them for that, for not accepting it. They don't have to go there, and nobody will impose it on them. But the majority, Muslim majority, if they want to go there, I think they have the right to go there and judge their matters based on their faith. So I think there should not be a disconnect here. We should have able to harmonize this among ourselves. There's a common law. There's a high court judge. Anybody want to go, you can go there. So they create a Muslim high court. If anybody want to go there, you go there. It's an opinion. It's just to give other people opportunity to
strengthen
what they want. It's a democracy, exactly.
Okay, I come on. I have this. I make my points while I was following. What do you think about our our national assembly being only used only the foreign language being used in our national assembly and not our own national language as they call it local languages. What is your opinion on that? How do you see the contribution of members in that foreign language at the national assembly talking about important matters of the nation?
It's appalling, it's unimaginable, At this point in time of our history, we have independence for more than almost 60 years. We are going to 60 years of independence. And see now we are using a colonial language to talk to our people, whom majority of them cannot even understand what we are saying. You said you are representing the people, and these very people you are representing, they cannot understand what you are saying. If you go to the villages, you go to the hinterlands, and the provinces, you ask them what is going on in the parliament. They don't know what's going on there. So what is the needs of your representation when 90% of the people you are representing cannot understand what you are saying? I think they should make it a law, or they should put in this constitution a clause or a law that allows members of parliament to speak, they can expect themselves better.
Yeah. I believe so too, because if you listen to the contributions, it is very disappointing, because some of these members, you cannot understand even what they want to say, because they mix their language. They cannot articulate themselves properly.
Yeah, maybe because it's not our language. It's not our language. It's not our mother tongue. So we will struggle to express ourselves. Because even the English people, sometimes they find it difficult to express themselves in certain way, because it's difficult language. It's difficult, So this is why National Assembly, sometimes you don't understand what our members are saying. Can you hear me? Because my mic is gone.
I'm hearing you.
Okay.
Yeah. So
it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing, up to this day we are using. I think I support Albert Sidia Yata when he was advocating for using our local languages. Yes. Anybody in that parliament, I think they should give them the right to speak in which any language they feel they can expect themselves better, so that we can know exactly what they are saying. Because sometimes context matters. You want to say something, but the context in which you want to put it, you cannot put it in a way, because the language you are speaking, you cannot express yourself 100%. So people might misunderstood you, not because you are saying something bad, but because you don't express yourself in a way you feel like expressing. So I think we are losing a lot. We are losing a lot because, number one, our members are not explaining exactly what they want to explain.
Yes.
Because there are certain words maybe they don't know in English, they will use a similar word that is next to that. But exactly that's not the same word they want to say.
Some of them are frustrated. If you look at the member that the Manjako man, he wanted to say more, but because he could not express himself properly, he got angry. He was yelling. You understand? He was allowed. That was frustration, because he doesn't agree on the context of the draft, but he don't know how to bring that in the language.
That's the problem.
He must. So he was so angry. He cannot say anything. He just used anything he said. Hadn't been he was allowed to speak in Manjago or Mandinka or Wolof or something like that, he will explain his frustration about the draft like everybody else. That is what I understand. It was frustration.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to say. There's miscommunication going on in that parliament. There are miscommunication to the people, because they are not saying exactly what is in their mind. They are saying, but it's not in a way they feel like they could have said it better, Because like you said, that man, you can see the person in him. You can see what he wanted, but he cannot express it himself correctly, So he ended up getting angry, frustrated, and then you can't even understand what he was saying. So had it been that he speak in our native language, he would explain himself correctly, in a peaceful manner and in a way that everybody will understand. So I think it's high time we start using local language in our parliament.
That's why I took that moment to see how people can be frustrated, or people can react, or people can miscommunicate when they cannot say what is in their mind. You know, sometimes even when you think people are not listening to you, you get angry. You understand?
Of course.
Even when they hear what you are saying. But if you feel like what you are communicating is not coming through, you get angry, you get frustrated. So the reaction of that brother, that's what I understand. So second, I will come to you about this birthright. Do you think a Gambian, a person who is born in the Gambia, should have automatic birthright, or should it to be based on his or her origin?
Yes, I think that part also is very sensitive and it's very important because, like we all know, majority countries of this world, very exception, you can give example like France and the United States and few countries that give automatic citizenship to people that are born in their country and are born to foreigners. But majority countries, they don't do it like that. Even in this country, Belgium, I don't know if they do it like that or not. But no. I think that's a process.
If you reach of age, you have choice to choose.
Yes, but not automatic. If you are a refugee here, you are born to a refugee parent, they give you a refugee card.
Yes.
They give you a refugee card. So I think we should, for me, I think the way it is, we should leave it like that. Like if one of your parents is a national of the Gambia, then you can have it. But if not, you have to wait until you reach of age and then you apply it, then you become a citizen. As simple as that. So I don't think we should just say automatic buyer. For me, I don't support that. I don't support the idea.
Okay. But do you think, is your opinion that if the person reach of age, he or she have the right to choose it?
Yes, for me, I think if you reach of age and he wanted to apply for it, I think he should. It's not automatic. I think he should still apply it. He should apply for it, and then you should follow the procedures, and then see until you have it. But normally, if you apply for it and you stay there for a required number of time, then automatically you will have it if you apply for it. Or like if you naturalize or by descent or one of your parents. All these are ways of acquiring citizenship in the Gambia. So it's not too difficult to have it in the Gambia. So I don't think they should make it that much difficult or make it complicated as it should be.
Okay, but for me, I think, on my opinion, I think everybody who reach of age, if you are born in a country, you have right to choose where you affiliate. If in Europe here, if you reach of age, even you see people they affiliate in Belgium here, you have dual citizenship. You can choose. If my child comes of age and he doesn't want to be a Belgian, she can go and take either her mother's nationality or my other dual nationality. It's left to her. Yes, I don't know all the laws of Belgium about that, but nationality, but I know of that one because I went through something like that recently.
Yeah, it's a good idea. That's a good idea. I can support that also. I can support that one also.
I did not say that. You see, most of the time in the Gambia, people, I will take like my example. If I come of age, I want to go and take nationality. My parents, maybe they don't have any documents or all those things. They come to the Gambia when Gambia doesn't even have even a proper birth certificate papers things. You understand? Those people, they live all their life in the Gambia. I was born in the Gambia. I reach of age, I went to get nationality, and I have to have problem. Or even you see people in the Gambia, they have parents who have nationality because of their parents is of foreign descent. They question their nationality. What do you think of that?
No, I think that's number one. That's mistake on the part of the parents, I think, and also on the part of the government for sensitizing the people on their right of how to acquire citizenship. If someone comes to your country and stay there for 40 years, 50 years, and still you don't have nationality, and I think the alcalde of that village know this person, or the village committee, they know this person. They knew he's here or she's here for 20, 30 years. He has children here or he has children here, and they don't find out whether this person have proper documents to stay in this country. I think number one, that's the fault of the authorities. They should make sure that any person that is living in such a condition is able to know his or her right of how to acquire citizenship. They should go to the person or make a civil education program and tell people, these and these are the way of acquiring laws in our country. If you live in this country for 20 years, or for 7 years, or 15 years, and you want nationality or you want citizenship, go to this place so and acquire your citizenship and be legal like anybody else to avoid any future problem. Number one. Number two, the parents also, they know document in matters, because they wherever you go, they ask them, So I think they should also endeavor and try and make an effort to find out how they can, because they know that's where they live permanently. They are not going anywhere else. Their children are there. So they should also try and find a document, because they will never deny them. You have your home, you have your family, you have children. It's just a matter of you going there and inquire, and ask for it, and automatically you will have it. So that's something that should not be a problem.
I agree with you. I agree with you that the government should make much effort to sensitize the people about legalization, how to legalize yourself, even as a citizen, as a Gambian. Because as a Gambian, if you don't hold a ID card or a birth certificate, you are not registered as a Gambian. You just existing in that country. I think the same way the politicians make effort to sensitize people to go and register for voters card is the same way they should use to sensitize people to go register themselves. That will help the state to know, to be accounted for everybody, to know everybody about everybody in the state. But Mohamed Fatih, you and I know in our provinces, maybe your mother, if you people did not find her an ID card, she doesn't need it. She will never, nobody will stop her.
They say why. It's true. They don't bother. They go freely. They don't mind. They don't care. That's true.
Imagine Mohamed Fatih. Your father don't have an ID card. Your mother don't have an ID card. And you come tomorrow to the area, to the police station. You will, or the immigration, you only need, they tell you go bring alcalo paper. The alcalo, if he knows me, even he doesn't need to know about my father or my mother, he will give me the paper, because for him, he knows me from birth.
Yeah. I think that's true. That should be, I think people like that, I think there should be no, there should be no hesitation, on their part to give them nationality. Because you are born there, you are schooled there, you spend all your life there, The alcalo, everybody knows you, You are a bona fide citizen of that locality, that community. So when you go to the station, even they know you too. So they should not even ask you, they should just direct you to the alcalo, and then the alcalo will give you his paper, and then you go and acquire your paper.
I agree.
Such people like your case, you should not have a problem of go crib carab, because you are a pure Gambian like any other Gambian, This is the thing.
You know why I said, why my opinion based on that? Because if I feel discriminated if I have to think like that, because for me, I identify myself as a Gambian, but
of course you are a Gambian.
Yes, I identify myself. Naturally, I was born and raised in the Gambia. I know nothing about nowhere apart from Gambia. But the laws of the Gambia, when it comes, it discriminates me. So in that sense, I feel discriminated. I would like to see whereby I have more. It's about me, not my parents. That's why I decide on that. I think it have to be based on me. I don't know whether countries, for my own opinion, I think laws should be made to protect the human himself.
Yeah.
It should be discriminating. by the time it passed me, it have to be from somebody. Let's say they say, Mohammed Fadi, you have right to speak, but Boubacar have to allow you to speak. Well, how do you see that?
No, it depends on the context. I know anything context matters. So the subject I'm speaking to.
I know. That's why I said when you say your opinion about it, I agreed on it. I understand what you mean. It is true that it is the duty of the parents to guide the child to know his identity, his or her identity when he come of time. Yes. It is also the duty of the government to make people know how to acquire papers, how to be legalized in a country. So I agreed on that. But my opinion here is, why should the subject be based on secondary, not primary?
Yeah, because maybe that is more guaranteed than primary. Maybe you come from somewhere. If I know your parents, automatically, if your parents have document, there's no question about you having or having document.
But
so
what about if I was born in Nyankoe Health Center and I have birth certificate that I was born in Nyankoe Health Center? So why should it be not, that is not sufficient to know to give me to register?
But normally, if you are born there, you should have your ID card, because if you have birth certificate, with your birth certificate you can register that and have your ID card.
But on our birth certificate, they already ask where your father come from or your mother come from. That is discrimination.
Yeah, but that they come from where? They have those people are already. You are born in the Gambia.
I'm just telling you in context that is discriminating. I am not saying that it's not.
Yeah, okay, I see your point. I see your point here. That's
on accountability side, on record, that is genuine. But on the child that is yet born, that is discriminating.
No, that's why sometimes law is discriminatory. Most of the time, law is discriminatory.
When you in your opinion of your submission, you said people will see themselves and others will not see themselves in laws.
Yes.
But it is true. It's fundamentally true. Even if you look in our Belgium here, we sit here in Belgium. You and I know for the last 1.5 years, this country doesn't have a steady government because of they could not all identify on policies.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But after all, the contest, what they all want is the primary thing is to govern the country.
The government, yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying. I understand you. Now I want to bring you on my other problem. I hear the honorable deputies talk about qualification to become a president. Do you agree that a president on this generation should be more than a grade 12 graduate, or must have more experience to become?
Well, that one I do not agree with that one.
Why?
Because if you are to make that, then you have to provide free education for everyone up to university.
But the Gambian government in our laws, it say you can have free education
up to university. No, university you have to have scholarship or you pay for yourself.
Yes.
So if I come from a poor background, I cannot afford university education, tuition fees. I always stop at grade 12, and I'm brilliant, I'm intelligent. You know, I'm smart enough. Just because I don't go to university and learn a foreign language, you know, I cannot rule in my country. We have Robert Mugabe is the most educated president in the world. I think you heard about that.
Yes.
He has more degree than any president. But at the end of the day, he makes a lot of blunders. And then Zimbabwe at this moment is a failed economy, one can say. So, so the most important thing is you have to put in place a proper structure, an institution that will guide the president and the people of that country to be able to stand on a proper footing. If you have the right team with you, you know, because the president, most of the time, he just says formality, he signs things. The Minister of Finance, you say, okay, this is what we and this, and then he see the legal advisor to the government, the justice minister come and say this. Okay, so most of the time they tell you most of the things, you know. You just sign papers and then all of that. But they are the policy makers.
That you mean
so
that
if you have good policy makers that are capable of managing their position, then it's going to be easy for you. So I think we should put in place proper autocrats who understand governance system. Then it's going to be easy for the president, even though he's secondary grade 12 certificate holder. But if he has PhD and he surrounds himself with people who do not understand what they are doing, who don't understand policy, who don't understand how government functions, you know, so he cannot be everywhere. What they bring to him, that's what he will sign. If they bring to him poor decision, that's what he will sign, and the government will fail.
Mr. Fati, don't you think it's high time that we introduce this? Like, we have divisions in the Gambia, right? We have like regions now. They call them regions. Don't you think we have to put these governors, like these mayoral offices, that people have to run for office in those regions? We see their capabilities, or they run for parliament. We see their characters or their capabilities to admin. You understand?
Yes.
Or you run a function or a ministry, or you are from director generals or PS or all those things. You know, that we know you have a record of administrative background, that you can take a nation, you can govern a nation or a ministry, you know, than just to rely on politicians from, like what we have. Our president, he is not administrative knowledgeable.
1 second, let me turn my light.
Okay.
Go ahead.
You know, like the president, like the president we have now, you know, he have no administrative background.
Yeah.
He's a businessman. He's run estates. He don't know how administration works. He don't know nothing about civil service. Maybe he have never served in the civil service, and now he have to go to rule the state, to be the head of an executive. Don't you think, like the system in most states, that people have to know you first, you know, what, before even your political parties, like, you know, to desist from this, like the majority of the party, we appoint ministers and permanent ministries based on political affiliation, not qualification, even if they are affiliated with a political party. Then when a party choose them, we can vote. The ordinary person can vote based on merits. Don't you think it's high time that to exist?
I totally agree with you, 100%. You know, for me, in my view, anybody that will represent the people at the regional level has to be somebody who has been doing tremendous work from his childhood. He has to be someone who is highly recommended or highly recognized for participating in community activities or community job. Maybe from the world level, you are someone who is able, who work with the youth, organize the youth, put in place for the youth that they can benefit themselves, and then gradually you go to the district level. There also you are able to do something within the district. People see you doing things, from the beginning. So until you progress, until people have confidence in you, they can see your track record. They can see the confidence in you, and you become the people's representative. So if such a people handle a position like a governor, they will identify themselves with the people because they come from the people. They know their problem. They know what they went through with them since their childhood until they reach to that level. So it is going to be very difficult to corrupt such people, for politicians to corrupt those people. But if you elect somebody, select somebody who have never, been a community activist, who have never engaged in community work, who have never, involved himself in bettering the society where he come from. Just, you just pick him because you think he can advance your political agenda, individually, based on what you want him to do. You put him there. So this individual, his destiny is in your hand as a politician, as a president, and by the fact that you can dismiss him any minute from that position, and he will lose all those privileges and opportunities he had ascending to that position, he will, instead of be loyal to the people, see the interest of the people, he will make sure that he did not go against your wish. Otherwise, he will fall down. So what will happen? He will be blinded to the wish and aspirations of the people, and will further advance the interest of the politician, whether that is in line with the people or is against with the people. So, in my view, this is why we are not progressing. This is why our region, nothing is working there, because they don't know what is going in our markets. They don't know what is going in our garden, women's garden. They don't know what is going in our furrows, because they have never lived that kind of life. They were appointed to advance an agenda that is to be there for the president or for the politician that appoint them. Their bread and butter come from him. So they don't want to lose that. So they care less. The society suffered, but they will survive. So this is why, in my view, nobody should be elected. You should be chosen by the people. And when they see that you are not doing what they want you to do, then they withdraw you and they put another one there. So in that way, nobody will play with you.
So you are of the opinion like mine that,
of course, very well,
that local elections should not only be based or only be with area council and councillors. It should go up to governors level.
Of course, governors they should be appointed, because they serve as the president, one can say, in that region.
Yeah.
They represent the president in that region, and the whole region is answerable to the governor. So they can command, they can give command. So it's a very huge responsibility. So somebody holding that position should be people-centered somebody, not a one-party-centered somebody. So they should be selected by the people. If the majority appointed select them, then they will work according to the will of the people, like the National Assembly members. Okay. If they know you are not playing well, then the next election you will go.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Fati, I will not leave. I have two points on my list that I want to talk to you about.
Yeah.
Mr. Fati, do you think the Gambia needs strong workers' unions?
Of course. Here, workers, because it is the workers' union that protect the interests and the welfare of their people. Sometimes politicians and technocrats, there are too many bureaucrats that you have to pass before you can get what you want. So if you have strong workers' union, whereby you are united, you can force the government to act. You can force the government to increase the salary of the workers. You can force the government to increase the working conditions of your employees. Otherwise, you can render the country ungovernable, because you are the working people. It is you who pay tax. It is you who work every day, every morning, and go to work. This is where the government derives its money from to pay, the ministers and all the cars they are enjoying. It comes from these people, the workers, the working people. So if the working people organize themselves into organization, a very strong working union, then nobody in that country will be underpaid. Because when they are united and agree on a formula and say, we want every worker in this country to be paid $5,000. If 100,000 workers come together and say, the union speaks and say, we want every employee of this country to be paid $5,000. The government have to listen. They will listen, because 100,000 people is a huge number. You don't want to lose this constituent. So you either dialogue with them, you give them what they want, or you come to a table and make a compromise and see what is best for all of you. So by making a strong working workers' union or a cooperative union or a workers union will able to help individual workers to fight their rights. For example, if you have a problem with your employer, he just dismiss you unnecessarily. But you go to the ombudsman. Before you go there, before you even see the ombudsman, it takes a lot of time, a lot of bureaucracy and all the protocols. But if you have your union, you go there. They can even pay for you a lawyer. They stand for your right. They make sure that you are entitled to all the entitlement you have, you will get it. But if you have weak workers' union, everybody will be fighting for yourself. The government will not listen to you. You will be frustrated. You end up leaving your job.
Yeah.
And nobody cares about it.
Mr. Fati, why do you think a country like the Gambia, where the nation is run by how to call it, is based on the labor from the woman who is selling granite in the market and the man who is riding a donkey car in the street, or the laborer at the port? Why do you think of this age? Because in Senegal they have them. Why do you think the political parties are more stronger than the trade unions, the workers' unions? Why?
Yeah, because I think we as a citizen, we don't know our right. So let's say we are not united. Because the way we support political parties, if we tell the politician, you know what, it is we, the peasants, the farmers, the laborers that vote for you. The groundnut seller at the market, the women vendors, the gardener, we vote for you. We put you in power. So power belongs to us. So on that note, you have to organize us and put us in a way that we also can benefit ourselves. Because you cannot put bread and butter into the mouth of all these people. What you can do, you should be able to organize them. Groundnut Sellers Association is possible. Why not? Or women garden association. Empower these people. Bring them into a form of like for example in Belgium here, the school markers. Those who go to houses like Milan. But they are regulated.
Yeah.
They are respected. But you can say they are in Gambia, they go.
Remember when they demonstrated here for better pay?
For better pay. And in Gambia, we see these people as just cleaning your house, but they arrange them in a way that it's formal. The work is payable, it's important. So the people, the masses should realize their power. They should know power belongs to them. When they speak with one voice, this politician will listen, no matter how powerful you are. Without people behind you, you are nobody. If they withdraw their power, you will see that you are powerless. So we should be able to grab the power we have and tell this politician, you know what, for a start, this is what we want. We want our market groundnut sellers association, and we want this certain amount of money from the government to compensate let's say to finance them, so that they can able to stand on their own. When they stand on their own, they will not go to your house offices every day looking for defense or looking for transport fare. But these are the people who pay tax. They pay tax. They are from that small part they pay tax. At the end of the day, they don't get nothing. Politicians go with it, and buy big cars, and live in comfortable life.
So you are also of the opinion that because of the working class is not organized, that's why the laws that are made doesn't reflect them.
It does not, of course, because who cares them? Those who care them are looking for them, taking care of themselves. You see, they are not reflected. If you look at the constitution, these people are not, even if they are considered, it's just a footnote or a side note. No emphasis is put on them. Some emphasis is put on the president, the National Assembly, the judges. What about the poor people in the street? What right do they have? What plan do we have for them in future to be able to reduce the unemployment? Before you put a judge, a pension for the judge, that somebody who have been working for
that is what I wanted to come on. How come such thing could be mentioned in a constitution, and there is nothing that guarantees the woman from
Woolley.
From Woolley, Nyankwe, who have to walk to his garden to come to Basse Market to sell his groundnuts or garden eggs. There is nothing that guarantees that woman, if she's sick, she can go and have free injection or paracetamol at Nyankwe clinic. But there is nothing. But they mentioned that they give the judge more right, more powers, and we pay him or her much, and when he or she go to pension, government taxpayer have to keep on paying him or her the same amount of money.
It's not fair. It's not fair. I don't agree to that,
While
it's not fair at all. So
while the pay scale in the Gambia is like 100 to 10.
It's not fair at all. We are not being fair to our people, our working class people. I think the elites, the elites, the affluent people, they always favor themselves. They forget about the masses. So that is why it's important. The masses also have to come together and fight for their own right, because they will never fight for your right. When they sit on a dinner table, the best portion of the plate they put it on their own side. Then they leave the chair for you people, for us, the working class. So it is left to us now to organize ourselves and put a demand to these politicians. This is what you want. You have to give it to them, to us, or we will not give you what you want. First, you give it to us, you give us what you want, and we give you what you want. Not giving you what you want and you give us, no. Because when you give them what they want, they forget you, because and you can't do anything to them at the end of the day.
That's true.
So
that's right.
The masses, the poor people, they should come together. We should come together and organize and speak with one voice, irrespective of political affiliation, tribe, or ethnicity, and speak with one voice for the common interest of all of us. Otherwise, this country, only the rich people will continue to be rich. The elites will continue to be enjoying the national cake, while the poor people will continue to suffer.
So you also think there is political distraction from the realities of the day-to-day living of the ordinary Gambian?
Of course, we are consumed by politics so much that we don't even sit and think, and for a minute and say, let's figure out what's going on, Let's see. Let's look at the mirror, or let's look at what's happening and see what's going on. Everybody is talking about politics and politicians. We forget about ourselves. The whole day we talk about politics. So our own interests, our own matters did not even bother us much. So this is something that is eating a lot of us, and it's not helping us.
Do you also agree on the sister who was here, Sister Harriet Damfa, that the youth should stop being used as political tools for their campaigns and all propaganda? Do you also believe that, and that the youth should mobilize and go and sensitize people to follow policies, not political popularity? Do you also believe that?
Yes, I think in the first place, what I would say is that the youth should know better. They should know better that nobody should use them as an instrument of political tool. Nobody should be able to use them to get what they want. And at the end of the day, they dump them when they get what they want. So the youth have to be conscious. They should think outside the box. They should be able to analyze the situation and see whether they see themselves in this or not. That should be the number one thing you should be thinking. Okay, this person so and so said this. So what is for me in this thing? Number one, you have to think about that. If there's nothing for you in this, then you have to hold on. You have to wait and say, you know what? You have to negotiate. You have to renegotiate this thing, because what I see in this is not fair and balanced. Number two, the youth should be able to take the center stage, and take responsibility and take ownership of that country, because we are the youth, we are the majority, and any country or any nation where the majority who are youth are not engaged or are not in a meaningful or position that that they are not in a position that they can able to influence decision, then their matters will never be looked into seriously. Because the old people that are there, they want to make sure to retire peacefully. At the end of the retirement, what they want, they don't want to get back to the poverty they were before. So they're always planning until they die. They're always planning for the future until they die, because they know one day they will leave this position. And when they leave, they want to make a retirement plan. Life after presidency, life after ministry. So your matter, the youth matter, will always come secondary to them. So it is left to the youth to say, you know what, we know the game, you know what's going on. So we may allow you to lead, and we will follow until our time comes. But this is what we want. Because if you don't give us this, we will withdraw from you. And when we withdraw, we will go to somewhere. This privilege you are enjoying, you will never get it. So unless we speak in one voice.
That's the mobilization is very important.
It's very important. Coordination, mobilization, speaking with one voice. Otherwise, they will divide us and conquer us and pitch us against each other. We will be on social media fighting against each other, attacking each other's political leaders or political parties when they are there enjoying, what they have already. They'll continue to enjoy, and we will continue to be fighting each other.
If you look at presently, some of these political leaders, they are not in office, but they are already in flamboyant lifestyle. But Mohamed Fati, into conclusion, I want to put this to you. I agreed on the member, one of the member of parliament, when he said that there should be restrictions in the constitution to restrict religious that can put restriction on religious levels. Do you agree on him, like I did, or not?
Yes, but the constitution, the Republic of the Gambia, the constitution says that the Gambia is a sovereign republic. It does not indicate specifically it's a secular state. But there is a provision in the constitution that says a state, no National Assembly can never have no right to pass any law that make a country a religious state. So it's impossible for Gambia to become a religious state, because there is a clause in the constitution that says National Assembly did not have a right to pass any law or any bill or even attempt to make the Gambia a religious state. So that is out of and it's entrance clause. It cannot be, before it has to be. Before they will change it, they have to go to the referendum, because it's entrenched. You cannot just change it like that. So, but if you say to restrict religion or religious freedom, it depends which dimension you bring it in, or where are you going. Because you cannot stop people from calling a prayer to calling Adhan. You cannot stop people from gathering or making a group prayer. You cannot stop people from celebrating their religious festival. So all of these things are religious here. The Constitution gives us right to religion. So if you want to, then there will be a contradiction here, because religion, the Constitution already provides that every person has a right to religion, freedom of conscience, freedom of faith. So if you say again, we have to put in a clause that will restrict those very freedom, then there'll be a contradiction in the Constitution. So what you can put in place, in my opinion, to put in place laws that will make sure that no religion will impose its will, or no person will impose their will on other people to force them to accept to become what they are not, what they want to become. For example, to force Christian to become Muslim, or to call Muslim to become Christian. So, and this is in the Constitution. You cannot force anyone to become what he did not want to be. So, in my view, they should just make it a way that nobody should impose his will or his opinion on other people and force them to accept it.
Okay, Mr. Fati, thank you very much for your time, and I hope I will get you. I'll keep on having live streams. I will invite some. So I will follow. People. I will follow people on their Facebook comments, and I will invite them based on their Facebook opinions. We talk about it.
No problem. You are welcome.
If they accept, I will invite you. I will follow you. If I see you comment something that interests me, or you have an opinion on something, I can invite you. We talk about it. You don't have to agree
No,
with
really,
me.
it's important. I'm enjoying it. You used to be a bad man, but you are now. I don't know what you learn in Belgium or what they teach you, but
No, no, I'm a grown man now.
yeah, I can see that. Thank you very much. Well, thank you
For your
for
time.
having me. Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Respect, man. Brothers and sisters, I am ending this live broadcast now, and I hope I will get people. I will be keeping on doing some live broadcasts, inshallah. So maybe you might be my guest next time. I will be inviting people on here frequently based on your observations. If you want to talk about something, if I see you post something, I can invite you. We have an appointment. We do a program. We talk about your opinions and my opinions of that matter. So on that note, I thank you all for listening. I hope to hear from you soon. Take care.